The sun climbed over the Ngong Hills, casting a warm glow on Nairobi. The city was waking up. Hawkers were arranging their wares, their colorful displays a stark contrast to the grey pavement. Matatus, brightly painted minibuses, weaved through the streets, their horns blaring a chaotic symphony. People hurried to work, their faces a mix of anticipation and anxiety. Nairobi was a city of dreams, a place where fortunes could be made and lost in equal measure. Among the throngs of people, a group of young men stood out. They were jobless, hopeless, and full of resentment. They watched as others went about their day, their pockets full of money they had earned. The young men had nothing but time on their hands and anger in their hearts. They were tired of being ignored, tired of being hungry, tired of being invisible. They craved the good life, the life they saw others living, but they had no idea how to achieve it. Except, perhaps, one way. They met at a makeshift kiosk, a rickety structure made of corrugated iron sheets and salvaged timber. It was their usual hangout, a place where they could escape the judging eyes of society. They were all from different parts of the city, brought together by their shared circumstances. There was Otieno, the oldest and the self-proclaimed leader, his imposing physique a testament to his past as a security guard. Nyoroje, the quiet one, always observing, his mind sharp and calculating. And then there was Juma, the youngest, full of bravado and easily influenced. They talked about their problems, their frustrations, their dreams. They cursed the government, the rich, anyone they deemed responsible for their plight. They felt trapped like animals in a cage, their potential wasted, their voices unheard. They yearned for a way out, a way to make their mark on the world, even if it meant resorting to desperate measures. And so, on that dusty street corner, fueled by cheap liquor and a shared sense of desperation, an idea began to take shape. An idea that would have far-reaching consequences for them and for the community around them. They called themselves the Walofa Friends, a name that sounded innocuous enough. But behind the seemingly harmless name lurked a growing menace. What started as petty theft and muggings quickly escalated into something more sinister. They preyed on the vulnerable, the shopkeepers who couldn't afford private security, the residents too afraid to speak out. They operated with impunity, their confidence growing with each successful heist. Word spread like wildfire through the neighborhood. The Walofa Friends, once just another group of unemployed youths, were now a force to be reckoned with. Fear became their weapon, silencing those who might have dared to oppose them. They were no longer content with scraps, they wanted it all. They wanted power, respect, and most of all, they wanted money, and they were willing to do whatever it took to get it. Section 4, Attacks by Any Other Name. The Walofa Friends declared themselves the protectors of the neighborhood, a twisted irony given their true nature. They demanded protection fees in Kenyan shillings from businesses and residents alike, a euphemism for extortion. They argued that the police were corrupt and ineffective, that they were the only ones who could provide true security. Those who could not afford to pay, or who dared to question the Walofa's authority, faced swift and brutal consequences. Their reign of terror had begun. The once vibrant community was now shrouded in fear. People were afraid to leave their homes at night, afraid to speak out against the injustice they were facing. The Walofa Friends had become the very thing they claimed to protect against, a threat to the safety and well-being of their own community. Section 5, The Price of Defiance. Mama Mboga, a woman known for her fiery spirit and her delicious mandazi, became a symbol of resistance. She refused to give in to the Walofa's demands, arguing that she had already paid her taxes to the government and would not be cowed by thugs. Her defiance was met with swift and brutal retribution. One night, a group of Walofa members descended upon her humble stall, overturning her cooking oil, scattering her mandazi on the ground, and beating her mercilessly. Mama Mboga's story spread throughout the community, a stark reminder of the price of defiance. Fear tightened its grip on the hearts of the residents. People began to avoid making eye contact with the Walofa members, fearing that even a glance could be misconstrued as a challenge. The silence was deafening, a testament to the power the gang had amassed. Section 6, Whispers of Dissent. Despite the pervasive fear, whispers of dissent began to emerge. A courageous few, driven by a sense of justice and a longing for peace, decided to take a stand. They knew the risks were high, but felt they had no other choice. They had to act before the Walofa Friends completely destroyed their community. Under the cover of darkness, they held secret meetings, sharing stories of the Walofa's brutality and plotting their next move. They knew they couldn't fight fire with fire. They needed a different approach. They decided to reach out to the one entity that, despite its flaws, still represented hope: the law. They would report the Walofa Friends to the police, risking their lives for a chance to reclaim their community. Section 7. The Battle for Freedom. Pause 2S. The police, acting on the courageous reports from the community, launched a surprise attack on the Walofa Gangsters. Under the cover of night, they moved swiftly and silently, determined to put an end to the reign of terror. Pause 1S. As dawn broke, the calm of the morning was shattered by the sounds of a fierce battle. Gunfire echoed through the streets and the air was thick with tension. The confrontation was intense, with many gangsters falling to the relentless assault. The battle raged on, but the tide was turning. The Walofa Gangsters, caught off guard, began to falter. Pause 2S. In the end, the police emerged victorious. The once feared gang had suffered a significant blow, their operations crippled. The community, though scarred, felt a glimmer of hope. The aftermath of the gang's downfall was brutal. Several members were killed in violent confrontations, while others were arrested and taken into custody. The streets of Nairobi were left in chaos, a stark reminder of the gang's reign and its tragic end. Pause 2S. Families mourned the loss of loved ones, and the community grappled with the scars left behind by the violence. Buildings bore the marks of the fierce battle, and the air was thick with the lingering scent of gunpowder. Pause 1S. Yet amidst the rubble and the grief, there was a sense of resilience. The people of Nairobi had faced the darkness and emerged with a renewed sense of hope. Pause 1S. The downfall of the Walofa gang marked a turning point. It was a harsh reminder of the price of defiance, but also a testament to the strength of a community determined to reclaim their city. Pause 1S. Nairobi stood on the precipice of a new dawn, ready to heal and rebuild.